My mission is to impact the hearts and minds of women, helping them change their stories and empowering them to love themselves, their bodies, and their lives.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to the Change Your Story podcast. I'm Hannah Dawson, your host and transformation coach. I'm a certified personal trainer, nutritionist, mindset coach, writer, speaker, and creator of the Fit Club Babes app, and I am here to help you transform your life. While I love teaching all things nutrition and fitness, and trust me, you'll get lots of that on here, my true passion lies in the power of mindset and self-relationship. I know firsthand how powerful a mindset shift can be. It has profoundly impacted not only my health and fitness journey, but also my relationship with myself, and it can do the same for you too. Many women believe as we age, we lose our beauty, body, and health, but that's not true. You can feel and look amazing and get better with age, and I'm going to show you how. Are you ready to change your story? Let's flip the script one thought at a time. What is up, my Change Your Story listeners? Welcome back to the podcast today. You guys, I took a mini little break from the podcast for a couple weeks. So if you noticed that there was no new episodes, I just needed to regroup and think about what I wanted to help you with. And so I want you to know whenever I do these episodes, it really is coming from a place of my own struggle, as well as all of the women in our Fit Club. So I really do pay attention to the way that people speak, the struggles that they're having. And, you know, my heart is to be able to take that and help you reframe it and help give you the tools to have breakthroughs, to change that story that is keeping you stuck. And what we're going to be talking about today is really powerful. We just started our Level Up Challenge in the Fit Club app. And what I love about this challenge is it really does work on all three pillars, and that is mindset, nutrition, and training. And so we are reading a book called The Power of One More by Ed Mylett. And it goes perfectly with our challenge because it's about leveling up. It is about to level up, you have to get sick of the level that you're on. And that means that you're going to have to push past comfort zones. It means you're going to have to be willing to grow. Growth doesn't feel good in the moment, but it does give you what you want in the future. And so you have to learn to push through that. You have to learn to see the bigger picture. You have to learn that what you are going through and growing through right now is making you stronger and better. And is helping you align with that highest version of yourself. And so, you know, today we are really just going to dive deep into something that I'm really seeing in our Level Up Challenge that's literally, you know, impacting women's lives and their mindsets. And I can say it like this: you know, those moments when you know what you are capable of and that you are capable of more, but something just feels like it's holding you back. Have you ever felt that way? Like, it's like, I know I can do more. I know I've done it before, but I just feel like I feel stuck. Like something is like, what is wrong? It's like the more you know, it's like the harder it gets. It's like, why can't I do what I once did before when I was ignorant to how to do it properly? Have you ever felt that way? I know I have. And so let me tell you kind of what I'm seeing in our community and hopefully help you on your health and fitness journey. So let's get into it today, ladies. Today we're really diving into identity, okay? And I'm going to give you an identity truth bomb today. So here's what's wild about transformation. We think it's the workouts, we think it's the meal prep, we think it's the routines, but let me tell you what's really happening. It's our belief system. It's the inner dialogue that we have with ourselves about ourselves, why we can do something, why we can't do something. And so I wanted to share, and I'm going to be sharing some examples from the Fit Club, some of the Fit Club members today, and I want to help break down what they're saying because this is probably you might feel like you resonate with this a lot and it might help you as well. So one member said this, and this is all regarding the Level Up Challenge that we're doing. And so she goes, I was reflecting today on how I keep putting things off for tomorrow. Example, I'll take today to clean up and prep, and then I can have a fresh start tomorrow. But I decided to be disciplined and I ended up at the gym today. It felt great. So do you see how what she said, she was aware of the story she was telling herself, and she started to become aware of a pattern. You become aware of this thing that you consistently do, and you're like, that is no longer serving me. That belief is no longer serving me. That belief is making me have a behavior that is no longer serving me. So she shifted her belief. So she said, you know what? I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm going to be disciplined, and I'm just going to get it done today. And so that's what I mean when I say, your belief comes before the behavior. I want you to write that down. Belief comes before the behavior. You have to believe. And if our belief system is distorted, if our belief system is of lack, if our belief system is of excuses, if our belief system is of discouragement, that is the result it is going to produce. And that's why, I titled this episode, Your Beliefs Are Your GPS. Where are they taking you? Because what you believe is acting like a roadmap, is acting like a GPS. It's put in a destination. And sometimes we get really frustrated with not being where we want to be, but it's because we want to be where we want to be, but our beliefs aren't aligning in that direction. So it's like I said, you feel stuck, or like, why can't you get to where you used to be? Because something is out of alignment. Your beliefs are out of alignment with what you want to be, with who you truly are. So we have to get to the root of it. We have to have an identity shift. That your identity, who you believe you are, is running the show behind the scenes. And so every choice you make is based on who you believe you are. I want to share another little testimonial, because I think it's so important. It's not a testimonial. It's just another thing that a member had shared about, this conversation, this inner dialogue that we all have with ourselves. And if you have these with yourselves and this is resonating with you, make sure you tag me on social media or direct message me and let me know that this episode resonated with you. Or even maybe you have a friend that is struggling. Make sure you share this episode with them, because, when we give, we will receive. And sometimes when we give the answers we're seeking ourselves, it just helps us on our path, gives us clarity, and the answers show up and the direction just shows up. So I just wanted to put that out there before I get into this, that share the episodes that have really impacted you, because they have the ability to impact others. And the only way for me to get this message out for others to hear is by you guys sharing too and leaving reviews and rating. Okay, so I want to share what one of our Fit Club members have said with their reflection. And so she goes, how do I feel about this challenge? I want to back out because of the excuses and lies that I believe. She goes, today is day one, and I will be the best version of myself today. Focus on today only. Those were her thoughts today. And so this is what happens when we catch those beliefs, when we start becoming aware of our inner dialogue. A lot of the time, if we're unaware of the conversations we're having with ourselves, it's really hard to change. It's really hard to know what is tripping us up. So we will actually start to change our circumstances externally and wonder why we can't keep up or why we feel burnt out, when it's not externally, ladies, it's internally. Your identity shift has to come from within. And so instead of her, using those excuses or wanting to back out because of these things that were going on, these conversations that she was having in her head that were limiting her, telling her the reasons why she can't do this, she chose to reframe it and said, just for today. I'm going to be the best version of myself just for today. And so this is what happens when we catch our beliefs in action. Okay, ladies, so the next part that I'm going to share with you is going to be raw and real from one of our members. And I know this is going to hit home for a lot of you, because when she was sharing this, I was seeing some of even my old belief patterns in this. And so listen to this. She says, I'm honestly discouraged. Recovering from injuries and not being where I once was is defeating. I know what I have to do to get back, but for some reason, I can't get myself into a good routine. Pause. right there. Did you hear what just happened? Did you hear that? Did you hear the story? I want to break it down for you. Let's break down the self-defeating pattern. That's what I call it. So notice the words discouraged, defeating, cannot. This isn't just frustration, ladies. This is a story on repeat. She's looking at where she isn't instead of where she is going. So every single word is reinforcing what she can't do instead of what she can. So we have to have a power shift moment. We've got to shift our identity. We have to level up. We have to raise our standards. So how do we do this? So this is where the magic happens, ladies. When you catch yourself in these stories, instead of, I am so discouraged, what if we flipped it to, I'm in the middle of my comeback story? Because it's in the moments of trial and tribulation and tests that what is in us can be brought out of us or can totally take us down. So if we let that story play, it takes us down. But what if we see this as resistance like a dumbbell? Are you going to just keep lifting the baby weights and not get stronger? Or are you going to grab the heavy weight and go against the resistance and really challenge yourself? Yes, it's going to be uncomfortable. Yes, your muscles are going to be sore. But the upside to that is you're going to get stronger, you're going to look leaner and more toned, and you're going to feel better and more proud of yourself. And so again, instead of saying I'm not where I once was, how about I am building an even stronger foundation? You're not where you once were. You don't want to go backwards, but use what you've learned in the past. What worked, apply it. What didn't, leave it. And so what we can learn from what worked and what didn't and all of our failures and the times we've fallen off is we have to learn from it. What worked? Why didn't it work? What worked? What didn't work? And why didn't it work? Then don't repeat it. Learn from it. The energy will shift when the story changes. Remember, belief comes before the behavior. A lot of the time we try to do the behaviors first, but we'll always default to the belief system. So we have to change the belief system. And that is going to come from constantly being aware of your inner dialogue and constantly leveling up your belief system and how you speak about yourself and your circumstances. It's so amazing what happens when you start becoming aware of how you speak and how you think. This is how growth happens. And yes, you're going to feel a little bit tired from it. It's like when you start working out, you do feel a little bit tired. You feel sore. It feels hard in the beginning. It feels like you really have to think about it. Movements, you really have to think about how to do a squat properly, a lunge properly, all the things that you have to keep engaged. But the more you do it, the less you have to think about those little things you did in the beginning. The same goes for your mindset and your belief system. So ladies, this is what I want you to understand. Your frustration is trying to tell you something. When you hear yourself saying, I can't, I'm not, I used to be, that's your cue. That's the moment you catch the story and you choose a new one. This isn't about positive thinking. It is about powerful thinking. Okay, now for your homework, and it's going to be a fun exercise. I can promise you, if you are in our Fit Club, I want you to share this in the Level Up Challenge. Share this homework with us. If you're not, tag me on social media or privately message me of how this helped you or email me. Here's your homework. So you're going to need to get your journals because this is where the real transformation begins. So we're going to call this the raw truth download. Okay, I'm going to explain why. So first thing, I want you to write everything out. Every single thought that comes up when you are thinking about leveling up, when you're thinking about reaching your goals. I want to share something that a member had shared, and I want to help point out some limited things. All right, some limiting beliefs. So this is what she wrote, and then it's going to give you an example. She's just journaling. All right, and so a really great way to do this is just to journal. Your thoughts and journal like all of your just how you're feeling. So in this level up challenge, we are doing like a daily day 2, day 1 journals, and we're writing about how our day went. And so I want to share this because there's a lot of limited stories within this little thing. And so yours will be like this too, but just yours. So she goes, yesterday was a good day to start to renew my good habits. I enjoy reading The Power of One More. Meditation went well. It helped me reframe my thoughts to have faith in the process. I love journaling, so that is a habit of mine. Drank my water and trained. Forgot to check my steps. I'm struggling with my hormones and other issues. Battling with not being hungry or wanting to eat everything. Low energy, waiting to do my blood work. Always am I a hot mess and showing up every day for myself. Anyways, that's what she said. Anyways, I'm a hot mess, but always showing up for myself, doing my best every day, however that looks. I love seeing and reading everybody's posts, so inspirational. That's what keeps me going and not giving into my excuses that I believe. So I love what she said. But even in what she said, I can see some stories, some deep stories that she believes about her hormones, that she believes about her energy, that she believes. And so a lot of the time we're like, well, yeah, but a doctor said, well, yeah, but this. So we have to say, what if that wasn't true, right? What if we couldn't say that anymore? What would we be faced with? So here's the thing. I want you to write down everything. And so this is something I did years ago when I really first learned that I could change my story. I had to write down all the reasons I wasn't who I wanted to be, all the excuses of why I thought I couldn't be or why I didn't have what I wanted to have. And this can get emotional and this can get deep, but write it all down. It doesn't matter how negative you get. Write down all of the things, okay? Every single thing. And then I want you to go through those I can't, those I'm not ready. I want you to go through the story that you're telling yourself. I want you to see a theme pattern, all right? Be completely honest. This is between you and your journal. Nobody gets to see this. And this isn't just journaling. It's bringing those hidden beliefs into the light. And until we are aware, remember, until we are aware, we won't catch them. They're like those sneaky little weeds, right? The more we are aware, the more we can pull them out. The more we are aware that a dandelion is a weed, the more we put weed killer on them. We don't think it's a garden and wondering why they're multiplying, right? So the more we see the weeds, the easier they are to pull out. And so let's go over the how. So like I said, the title of this is a GPS. Your beliefs act like a GPS. All right, so we need to reset it. So here is how we're going to do it. And here's where it gets interesting. So after you've written out your whole story, I want you to circle every repeated word and pattern that you see. The can'ts, all the excuses, everything that is the reason that you're not doing. You'll start to see you'll start to see the pattern. So just circle them and look for statements like I am, I can't, I always. So these are your current GPS coordinates. All right. But guess what? We can reprogram them. So we're going to flip the script. All right. We're going to flip it. So now I want you to take each excuse, each I can't, each reason, whatever, it might look like something like this. I'm struggling with my hormones issues. I'm battling with not being hungry. That might seem legitimate, but it is something that's holding her back. So what if we couldn't use that? And so that's what I want to say next is I want you to take each excuse, each I can't, and I want you to ask yourself, what if I had no choice but to succeed? What would I do? What if you couldn't say that? You have no choice but to succeed. What would you do? And I want you to write that out. What would I do? What would be the opposite of what I'm believing to this? What would be the opposite or the positive to that? And what if that's the actual truth? What if the lie or the excuse was the thing imprisoning us? So we have to believe this. And I heard this said, and I forget who said it, but it goes along the lines of this. Everything is a lie. Everything is a lie. So if everything is a lie, you can tell yourself what you want to believe. We have told ourselves, you've heard that thing, you tell a lie long enough, you start to believe it. So why wouldn't we start telling ourselves things that will help build us up we will start believing it. And when you start believing it, like I said, your belief comes before the behavior. You will start behaving in a way that aligns with your beliefs. But you have to change your beliefs first. So you have to say what you want to believe, but we have to know the story that you're saying. We have to know where the story is, and we need to know what we are saying so that we can catch it and we can reframe it. Last thing that I want to say is this. What if these obstacles that you are feeling like you're struggling with on your health and fitness journey, what if they're opportunities? Like I said, in order to grow, it's going to push us out of comfort zones. In order to make a diamond, they are made under pressure, tons and tons of pressure. So in order to bring that thing outside of you, those results that you want, they're inside of you. It's going to require you to put pressure. It's going to require you to let go of those beliefs. And the crazy thing is, ladies, is a lot of those beliefs that you have that are limiting you, whether it's your hormones, whether it's your energy levels, whether it's autoimmune, whether it's your time, whether it's money, whether it's you think it's your genetics, whether you think that your body will never change, whether it's injuries, whatever it is, whatever those things are, you believe them because you've been letting yourself believe them for long enough. You're going to have this mindset. Abandon the belief system. Like an alarm in your mind, abandon the belief system, abandon the belief system. Like, you know, those alarms that go off, you know, if there's like a fire or something, you have those radios that come on. It sounds like a AI lady talking, like, whatever. That's what needs to be in your mind, the alarm system. Abandon the belief system, abandon it. You're going to have to abandon it. You're going to have to fully, believe in who you want to be so badly that the beliefs that you're having now that are holding you back are too painful to stay there. It's like this, ladies. I don't care who you are or what you've told yourself, you're absolutely capable. The things holding you back. There's people that have lost their limbs, that have literally lost their legs. Could you imagine the excuses that they have? Now look at the Paralympics. Look at the people that are running marathons with artificial legs, that are doing bodybuilding shows with no arms. So the reason you're not where you want to be is because of your belief system, not because of genetics or outside circumstances. If you believe you can, you will find a way. But you have to fully, wholeheartedly want it with every part of your being and recklessly abandon your old belief system and create a new belief system and believe it so much in your mind like you're a little kid building your dream life. That's literally what you have to do. And you have to believe in it so much. And I want to say this thing. Be very careful who you tell your new belief system to. It is like planting a seed. I wouldn't say it to anybody. I would just say it to yourself in your journal. Write down. You're going to write down your old story. You're going to see the story. Now you've got to write a new story. What are those beliefs that you're going to have to adopt that are going to help you get to where you want to be? How are you going to reframe this old belief system into a new belief system? What is that going to look like? Because that's what you're going to have to do. It's going to have to become, you're going to have to reprogram, recklessly abandon old belief systems and reprogram. And reprogram means you're going to have to focus and meditate on your new affirmations, on your new reframing thoughts. And you know what? I might have to do another podcast on this because I want to share a personal story of mine when I had to do this, but it had to go around fatigue. And, it was like my husband was going away for the day and I was going to have to take Maddie to dance that night. And normally I'm in bed and he does that. And I remember I had this thought, okay, and this is really powerful. It had nothing really to do with my health and fitness journey. But as I started working on my reframing, it was this, oh my gosh, I'm going to be so tired. I remember thinking that and I caught it right away. And I thought, that's an excuse. I am not going to be. I've been telling myself that for so long, I start believing it. And that's not true. And I thought, that's not true. What if I didn't have him? What if I couldn't use that excuse? What if I was a single mom and had to do these things? How would I start showing up? And being like that, you start taking your power back and you go, okay, I actually can handle this, right? So you have to give yourself no way out. as Tony Robbins would say, burn the boats. Like you have to figure it out. You cannot have an out. You have to literally burn the boats. You have to burn the excuses. You can't use them anymore. You literally have to go by the new belief system. It's a new system, operating system in your mind, and you have to fully believe it. You have to fully be committed to it. And that's what leveling up is all about. And that's why I love the book that we're reading, The Power of One More, because it really starts, talking about your identity. And I'm going to do a podcast talking about the first chapter and really breaking it down, because I love to help you with your mindset. And sometimes when we read a book, it's one thing, but then when someone else reads it and teaches it, it hits on a whole new level. So I can't wait to see you in the next episode to talk about that. You guys, if you have any questions, or if I didn't hit on something, or you're kind of have more questions based on this, or maybe you're struggling, or maybe you're one of our members that heard a little bit of what you shared in. I didn't use names for that reason, because I wanted to keep that private, but I just thought it was so powerful that you shared that you're not alone. I want to say that if our members are listening to those and you're like, that was mine, you're not alone. There's so many women that are feeling how you're feeling now. And so they made a great example for me to use for all of our women listening. So you guys, that is it. That is all. I love you all. Have an amazing day. I can't wait to hear your stories of how you are changing them. And until next time, you guys, I will see you in the Fit Club. I will see you on social media, and everything will be in the show notes. Bye for now.